Hey, book club besties. From Scrubs to Book Club, we're two burnt-out healthcare workers who love to yap about books. I'm Katie.
And I'm Star, and welcome to Aimless Attention Podcast.
Today, we are talking about the third book in the Into Darkness series, which is Game On by Nevessa Allen. I have thoughts. I have a lot of them. Let's just get into this. So this is Tyler's book, and I think a lot of us in the fandom had the same opinion going into this, is how are you going to make me like Tyler? Because as much as I knew about Tyler was he was an annoying jock in Lights Out.
Okay.
He was a bookie in
Caught Up. And
now it's like, here's Tyler's book.
But I thought like the bookie thing was going to like really bring him together. Like
I thought
we were
so
going to
too.
get like, yeah.
That's what I was hoping. I
liked it.
I didn't like this book. I'm just going to throw it out there. It was fine for some parts of it, but it wasn't like Caught Up. I was thrown off on because it was so different from Lights Out that I was like, okay. Spoiler alert for all three of these books, by the way. If you're listening to this, I'm hoping that you've already read the first two because they're so interconnected. But if you haven't, spoiler alert for Lights Out, Caught Up, and now Game On. Lights Out is my all-time favorite of these three. And then when you go to Nico, he's so different. But on a reread, I really enjoyed it because I knew what I was going into. I finished this book and I have no desire to do the audiobook at all. Like, I didn't purchase it. I went on my Spotify and I used some of my listening hours to listen to the bonus chapters. And even doing the bonus chapters, I was like, this knocks my star rating down.
That's funny. The only bonus chapter I know that everybody listened to on audio was Fred's. And they were like,
Fred's
his
amazing.
was the best! And I was
But
like, you guys are terrible.
It's a Lights Out audio. It's a Lights Out bonus chapter, though.
I know.
So,
but I'm saying like everybody was
which
like,
makes sense to me as to why that's the best one.
I just like the cat's like perspective of like the
So
guy
funny.
walking in the house. Like it was just...
We'll just do this initially. If we're going to do the bonus chapters, there's a few of them. The first one is Fred, and it's called The Intruder, and it's fantastic.
It was
6
great.
stars
but
all around.
But even the guy that like reads it, like I feel like his energy. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
It was great.
I also want to point out it is a Lights Out bonus chapter, though, so it makes sense as to why I probably liked it better. So let's get into this story. So we first open on Tyler, who is doing his bookie thing where he is running one of his parties. And we kind of get the backstory that Tyler started up these games in college. And it was to make money and just to have something to do because he was bored in college. He's a really intelligent man.
Yes.
And then he and Tyler had moved to the city. And he ends up getting his, accounting degree or finance degree, whatever it is. And he's just kind of like, whatever. But he's specifically at this party wearing his green devil mask. That is really important to him. We see it on the cover. That is how he protects his identity. He goes by Theo Strickland when he is running these parties.
Which, okay, so I have to tell you, on audio, the first like few seconds, you know that it's Tyler, but for some reason, I did not know who the fuck Theo was. I was like, what is happening and where are we in this story? Like, it was like, I want to say like the second or third, like, you're like, and then Theo, da-da-da-da-da. And you're like, okay, hold on. I rewound it like 3 times thinking I missed something. Because I was like, what the fuck is happening? And then I figured it out. But it was not a quick, like, my brain was like, I should have almost felt like I should have read Caught Up before. Or like the end of Caught Up so I could remember. Because I was like, what? Who? Theo. Yeah. Who the fuck is Theo? I had to like literally be like, I rewound. I was like, maybe I missed something. Nope. I was like, what? It was dumb. I was like, because it just didn't make sense because we all know it's Tyler's story. So it was like, who the fuck is this guy?
I could see how, especially if you're like cleaning the house or doing other things, that you're just like,
a little slightly distracted.
Yeah. You're just like, wait, who is this person? But
my problem is that the car will sometimes turn it on and start playing it, but sometimes the volume on my car is not up, so I won't know, and then I'll be like. How did I get to this part of the book? Yeah.
Yeah. And so Tyler at this specific party is targeting one person and that is Blake McCormick.
Yes.
And this is all of his parties now are like this massive long game. He has to take out one specific person. And so we know that he has been making this one specific man, Blake, over imbibe to lose money there. The second chapter is Stella McCormick, who is Blake's older sister and significantly older. She's in her 30s, early 30s. He's 21. Oh, he's 20 at the time because he's underage. So she is a tattoo artist and we kind of get to see her eclectic, kind of like macabre stuff that she has all over her tattoo studio. She wears like all black. She has black hair. She's got all her piercings on her face. She's got her nipples pierced. She's got all this kind of stuff that she's just not the stereotypical person you would imagine would come from this like wealthy elite society that she actually comes from, right? Because her brother has a lot of money. They have trust funds and all that kind of stuff. We get introduced to her mom, who is British. And this is when she's asking her, she's bringing her a weird lamp to put in her collection. And she ends up asking her, are you still coming to Tippy's birthday party? And we don't get introduced to who Tippy is quite yet. We don't know that she's a dog yet.
No.
And this is where we get the introduction of the pervert joke. The next chapter is Tyler interacting with Junior and Lauren, and they are actually going into business together. They own 50% of Velvet each. So
Which I was excited for, but like I thought she was gonna wrap it into the story a little bit.
Nothing.
I thought like Stella had the personality that I thought like, oh my God, I was so like they're gonna go to Velvet, and then like her and Junior are gonna like meet. Like I thought there was gonna be, I don't know.
I thought so
maybe
too.
like a Josh throwback. Like I thought there was gonna be like, it's 3 fucking people. Like we know their POVs. We could have like, rah! Yeah. I don't know. Like
I was surprised that they introduced this whole thing with Velvet, and it's like, it's just a chapter to be like,
yeah.
Oh, they interact and move on. Like they own 50% of
Said
Velvet.
the same thing. My friend was like,
and I thought it was kind of funny. I want to say there are bright points in this book for me. I don't hate everything about this book. It's just there's parts where the things that I wanted more of, there weren't.
Not.
And then the things I wanted way less of, I was like, get away from here. Why are you in this book? So, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Oh my God.
I think it's kind of funny how Tyler describes this, is that they blackmail each other into a corner. And so Junior's like, I'm going to tell Josh that you're doing this. And then Tyler's like, oh yeah, well, I'm going to tell Nico Sr. that you bought a building. And it's like,
I wanted
okay,
more
fine.
of that though. Like if you
Yeah.
were, the way that they did it, I thought there was going to be like more like,
I thought that
at
we were
least
gonna
more
get way
friendship, like more like interaction between them.
No, it's just like gone. We got quite a bit more of Josh and Allie even in Caught Up than we did in this, which Josh and Tyler are best friends. So it was, I don't know, it was just a weird departure
like
for me.
she was trying to focus solely on him to get you to like him.
Mm-hmm.
And she forgot that like we like all of them, like
Yeah.
all of their characters is who makes us love them.
I also think I got 3/4 of the way through the book and I was like, Star, when do I like this character? Because they still fucking pisses me off.
Oh,
Like-
I thought it was like less than 3/4.
It might be less than that, but it was pretty far in where you're just like,
Yeah, you get
Hey.
the story and you're like, oh my God, because don't you remember? I was like, keep going, Katie.
I was looking at you like this, like when does it get better? So the funny thing though in this chapter, other than the blackmail, is that Tyler's like, how am I going to explain this to my accountant that I own half of this sex club? And then Lauren says, just tell him you're exploring your brat kink. And that sticks with Tyler.
Okay.
He's like,
I heard that. I texted like 5 of my friends and I was like, I think I know what my new kink is. I think my friends were like, we don't know you,
know,
well
I
enough
think you
to be
loved
like,
this book.
thanks for texting me this information. I haven't finished the book yet. I don't know what this means.
I think you totally love. Listen, this is where I'm going to bring up Deep End. I think Deep End. Deep End was enlightening for me in a few ways. And I really related to this character. And I think Star's a little bit of Tyler. And that's why I started liking this book way more than I did.
The crazy part is that I'm Stella in all of the
Stella.
situation.
Yeah.
I think the brat kink for me would definitely be Tyler.
You're Stella,
but I'm
like,
definitely like, yes. But like, no.
I think you're Tyler in how you interact in your normal
Yes.
day. And then you're Stella
This
later.
is the problem. I was like, I get it, boy. I get it.
Oh my God. I just couldn't. So we ended up getting Stella and Theo meeting right after this. He goes to the gym and he works out and he shows up late to a tattoo appointment. She's frustrated because not only is he late, but she's also having to put a temporary tattoo on him where she's like, and most tattoo artists are like, sure, whatever. Like, I understand this is a permanent thing, but also like, you're getting a fucking tattoo. Like, are we really going to do this whole thing? So she's like trying to place the stencil on it. There's a lot of tension between these two. Stella kind of remarks to herself that it sucks that she's attracted to men because she has to deal with men.
I have to say I like this. This is the one that stuck out for me. And I meant to tell you this and I forgot about it. But I was like, I get it, girl. Like, there are days where you're just like, ugh.
I've told
like-
my sister and their wife multiple times, just be grateful you're not with a man. I love my husband, but I'm constantly just like, it would be easier if I was attracted to women.
It'd be easier if, like, you know, I wasn't attracted to any of it. Just let it be.
Just let it go. They are having this kind of like, will they, won't they? While she's trying to place the stencil, she's just like, he's got rippling abs and like trying to like place this and everything. And I was buying into this book at the beginning. Okay. I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting. She's trying to place the stencil, and then Derek interrupts. He's this older dude, like typical tattoo artist, just like walks in. He's like, everything going fine? And she's like, yeah, it's all good. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna leave. You need me to stay? And she's like, no, it's fine. So then they keep antagonizing each other. Tyler starts calling himself a brat internally, using Lauren's voice. He's like, oh man, here it is. We find out that Tyler's pan. He's like, he's like, I'm attracted to everything. I've never been with a goth girl. He's like, I've been having a lot of dick lately because that's the streak I was on, but maybe I need to be back with a woman again.
Okay, I do have to tell you, no problems with Pan. Whatever. Do you, boo? I am definitely like not the girl to judge. My problem is that I was not ready for this. Mm-hmm. I've been getting a lot of dick lately. I was like, who is this and what are you talking about? And it's nothing to do with the fact that like that he was getting dick, because I don't give two fucks. You get you. Like, I think what bothered me in this situation of this story, to be completely honest, was I was confused because I was like, pretty boy Tyler? Like, I don't know why. I know it's stereotypical, but I was like, pretty boy is what? Like, what? Mm-hmm. Like, it just didn't feel right to me.
I think
I had friends that had mixed feelings. I have friends that were like, both ways. Like, everybody I know was like so ready. Half my friends finished the story before I did.
Yeah.
They're like, speed it up, girl. And I was like, what? It just came out yesterday. Like, shut the fuck up.
I think for me, his sexuality it was fine. Like, whatever.
No, it was fine.
Once you got to know Tyler, it made sense, I think. But not that anyone's sexuality has to make sense to people. But I think for the way that he acted in the other two books, I never got the I'm also attracted to men thing.
That's what I guess I was trying to say. Like,
because of how he talked about women, not necessarily because of how he was acting in a certain way, but because he only talked about women, that we never really got that interaction.
It's kind of like how do I word that? Like, I guess like the way I mean, like by pretty boy, like it just has that like, I'm so fine that like every woman loves me attitude in the other two books.
Yeah.
And then you get this book and you're like, what?
He's he's portrayed as a stereotypical like cis white man.
Yeah,
I guess is like the best way to put it.
Yes.
And so while it's awesome that he is so open and is pan and everything,
yes, I
just didn't have that same vibe. So it was like a mental switch. It was fine once I was like, okay, this is just who Tyler is, like whatever. But it did feel like not necessarily in his sexuality, but some of even his interactions with people seemed way different than what we got in the first book. So it was almost like his character was different.
So it wasn't just me. Okay.
No.
I think that was like what kind of bothered me. It was just kind of like, what? Like,
yeah. And so we do get one of my favorite lines in this, because I am married to a blonde man, and it felt like I was having a conversation with my husband, was he said, I have an appropriate level of confidence, and I could totally see my husband saying that.
Didn't she say that you're just a blonde man or something?
Sir, you are a blonde man. Calm down. And I was dying.
I was dying when I think that was what I would have rather had on the sleeve. Like,
yeah.
Sir, you're a blonde man. Calm down.
The thing on the front. Yeah, I literally I was joking with my husband. I was like, this is just like me and you talking. And then the more I was reading the story, I was like, this is not like me and my husband talking at all.
No, but when the first few pages, like even meeting your husband, I was like, oh my God, Katie, I'm trying to read this. And I'm trying not to picture your husband. Like,
it's true though.
He does have very blonde man energy.
He does have blonde man energy. He's so
a very what was it? I'm a 10 anywhere, like with a Barbie movie.
10 anywhere.
My name's Ken and I'm a 10 anywhere.
It's so true. I want to say this book was funny. Like there were a lot of spots where I was just like actually laughing out loud because of something that the character said or internally thought. Like it was actually really good in that aspect.
Oh no, the book was great. It just was not. I don't know. We've had this conversation though, and a couple of my friends also made the same comment about like it's the third book though. Like there's always something like the third book's like always gotta be
it's
like.
It's really hard to stick the landing on a trilogy.
I feel bad for the author. Like she did great. I love this book. I recommend it highly. I just think it sucks to like everybody's like was already bashing it before it came out. They were like, I'm excited to read it, but like It's Tyler.
It's Tyler.
Like, I literally heard she needed like a caption that says, it's Tyler.
Yeah.
It was too fucking funny because everybody was like, I think everybody wanted more because it was Tyler that we were just like, the fuck is wrong with him?
Yeah.
Like, tell us what's wrong with him.
And it took a lot of kind of training my brain to be like, okay, this guy's fine, I guess. Like,
I liked him.
So
I was like, ooh, Brat King, new king for Star.
I think
one she didn't know existed and in Lakes. I think that was what probably got me. You should have seen me. I was like working. At like one point I was like,
yeah, my issue, I guess, is probably that. Is that I am not a Brat King girly in terms of...
Especially when he whispers in my ear.
I'm not like I don't like submissive guys, but that's my personality. Again, it's totally whatever you're into.
No, but that's just it.
That throws
he's not
me.
submissive. This is what people don't understand about like the Brat Kink itself. It's not that he's submissive. It's that like... he does everything he's supposed to do when he's supposed to do it. Like he is a grown-ass man in the world, right? And then you get behind closed doors in your little like
specifically in
sanctuary.
the bedroom that I had an issue with it. But that's
get your sanctuary. Oh, Star's definitely the step on your fucking balls in my high heels.
No,
kind of
I'm the opposite.
Crush that
I'm like,
shit, girl. Get the whips out and they're just like wacha wacha.
I'm a Scarlet with a Lucas more.
I don't want like
defense. So,
I don't want him to be on top. No, I have control issues. I want to definitely be. Maybe that's why I didn't like defense because I'm like, no, I want to tell you when to get on your knees and crawl to me.
That's why I don't like this book is because I'm like, no, I don't
sit in the
Tyler
corner and tell mommy she's pretty. I can tell, like, oh my God. I have a lot of people right now. I hopefully, anytime, just call me.
Hey, listen.
1-800. I just.
We're going to set up a toll-free number.
Hey, if I made money, I would 100% be like, what do you want me to do?
Star's going to start an OnlyFans.
Stomp on your what?
Stomp. It's called Stomp on Your Balls. So you don't show anything except a high heel.
I'm telling you, girl. I got some cute ones, too. Should have worn my high heels in this one and been like, Katie, put my little like whip across my leg.
So Tyler, you're going to have like a mascot account like Josh. So anyways, Tyler ends up, his whole plan was to go into the tattoo shop and he was just going to antagonize the shit out of her and then drop the bomb about Blake. That doesn't happen because he ends up yanking her on top of him and they make out.
I mean,
and
everything in me was like, yes. I mean, even I wanted to make out with her. The nipple rings threw me off, though. Was not anticipating that.
Yeah, that came up later.
When he pulls her up top of him, though, I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I hate to say this. I know she's black hair. I don't know why. But I swear when he introduces her at the end, is it Caught Up or is it?
Caught Up, yeah.
I swear, because we can see her already. I swear she was like tall and blonde.
I don't remember.
Everything in me was like she was tall and blonde with short hair. And like, I don't know why I was dying and I was like, I want to go back. But I like could not get this other chick in my head. I was confused like 90% of the time that she was like.
I'll be honest.
But I did. At least she got the tall part right. I was like, okay, at least I got that right.
Listen, let me be honest about this. I read Caught Up and then I was not the biggest fan. It was fine. It was good. But it was not like I didn't dislike it as much as I disliked.
Yeah, I liked Caught Up. Caught Up was mine.
I finished it and I looked at the last scene with Tyler's POV and I went, I don't want to read this, and I just didn't read it.
Yeah, because he introduces her at the barbecue.
No, I knew he did that. I literally.
But
think I read the first page,
she was like, okay, the thing that was, she was definitely tall. Because she's tall in this one.
Yeah, she's like 5'11" or whatever.
Yeah, but I pictured her being like, I thought she was older than him. Well, she is older than him. But I pictured her being like, I don't know, maybe I just really just fucking, that was just when my brain put it together. But like a tall blonde with like semi-short hair with that like, that almost like the Karen cut, which sounds really fucking mean. But I knew he was going to get somebody that was going to be like, no. Yeah. Bad Tyler, get over here. I don't know why. I just was like, Tyler. So I think like maybe the Karen cut was just in my head. Like he needed the, I swear to God, I'm going to go back and reread it now. Now I'm like irritated. Now I'm like, I swear she was a Karen.
Well, so she was a Karen. So Stella and they get interrupted. It definitely would have gone further if they had not been interrupted by Derek coming back because he just had a bad feeling about the whole thing.
Because it was a bad feeling. He needed to like, no.
And he interrupts them. And then Tyler's like, well, my plan's gone. But you know what would be even better is if Blake freaks out and goes and tells her. So she goes upstairs. We get to meet Amos, the African gray parrot, who is her little sidekick. We get an animal sidekick in each book, right? So,
yes.
and
the gray parrot's my favorite. I cannot get mine to learn to cuss. My dad keeps yelling at me, but I've been trying.
That's so funny.
I've been trying. My dad's like, do not make the bird cuss. And I'm like, he won't cuss.
Doesn't she
It's like he almost knows it's bad. She's a snack bitch.
Snack bitch.
Snack bitch.
She says, honey, I'm home. And he goes, fuck off, or whatever.
Yes.
And so
Tell me that's not like, I don't know.
I think cute. Also if I would have listened to the audio, that would have been funny. I don't know how it was done with the
It was
parrot.
great. Snack bitch. Snack bitch.
Yeah, so he calls her the snack bitch. And
then he wants... what are the nuts he wants? I've never mine likes peanuts, so like he's like mine will be like peanut like, so like I don't get, or Alex apple, like he gets real mad and I'm like, you don't even like apples, I gave you got like 8 apples in there, and he'll just look at you and be like, apples, and you're just like, what the fuck? So the nuts one was cracking me up because I was dying laughing and I was like, I'm gonna have to remember to tell Katie this. But the thing that like I guess like when they age they don't like pick up as many words like after they get like certain age, so they start to like they get like stuck in a
parrot dementia.
Who is a dementia? But they get stuck in a like they know so many words that like they can have like conversations, but
they're like, I don't need to learn anything else.
I guess, but it's also like because I've been trying to get him to be like fuck off, but he refuses, and my dad's like, stop teaching the bird that, and I'm just like, I'll just sit there and I'll be like, Alex, you want a peanut? Fuck off. He won't do it, but it's almost like birds cussing is almost not as people always make it seem like it's super easy, but almost every bird I've ever met like cussing's like they're like, why?
That's funny. They're like, no, I'm not supposed to do that.
Yeah, like almost like they're like what are they, like 3-year-olds or something mentally, 2-year-olds or something like that. They're like old enough to know they're not supposed to do it. Like
yeah, I think they're like 3 or something like that.
Yeah, but they're old enough to know. Like he'll look at me and he'll be like,
that's
and
a
then
bad
my dad,
word.
yeah, and then my dad will be like, stop teaching the bird to cuss, which probably doesn't help me either because the bird's like, see, you got yelled at.
That's so funny.
The birds are ridiculous, and they're great to have if you're like lonely. It's better than a fucking cat like not talking.
Yeah, so Blake shows up and he's like, I owe Mr. Strickland $3 million, and like tells everything. He's like, well, my boyfriend broke up with me. I was so upset. I went to this party and they giving me a bunch of drinks and I didn't turn him down. And Blake, for all that she knows, is like this straight A student, like threw a fit when he had a B-, like fell down on himself for that. Like he is a really, really good kid. So him doing something like this is like totally out of the ordinary. And so she's like, the first thing she thinks is like, I'm going to handle this and it's going to be fine. Also, fuck Mr. Strickland, Theo Strickland. And she like has Blake described and she's like, you would be fucking kidding me. It's this guy I was going to tattoo tonight that I just made out with. So,
I mean, who doesn't want to make out with a sexy tall blonde?
Tyler gets home and he has a million emails that are ranging from like, fuck you, what is wrong with you, what's going on? And he's like, this is incredible. Like, I'm so excited about this. And he's
like, she really loves me.
She ends up, he's like, come to dinner with me. And she's like, you're inviting me out? That's how we're going to play this? So he shows up and he puts a jammer underneath the table because he's like, I know this bitch is going to try to like record me. So, of course, she does try to do that.
Okay, this is the other thing I don't like about Tyler, right? Is Josh is the... like, okay, you have to pick a personality for these guys, okay? Josh is the tech dude. Nico is the body bearing guy.
But Tyler having access to those types of things isn't out of the realm.
I don't know. It just didn't feel like a Tyler. I don't know. I just didn't feel like some of the things that he did. I was like, this just doesn't feel like you. Like the prissy boy that we got that was dressed all pretty that drove the high end car didn't feel right for the situation. Like, I just feel like she needed to stick.
I think that's part of what my issue was I felt like there was such a disconnect from who he was to who he actually is. And that's partly, we do know he puts on a front for a lot of people, but still, it's like, I don't know. This was I don't know.
I liked it. I didn't hate this book at all. I really did like it.
Had a hard time reading this
I spent
book.
a lot of time laughing and being like, yes, yes, yes. There was a few things that I was like, wait, who is this? And why is like, I just wish that like.
Yeah, I genuinely like.
I wanted him to be like a little different, but I did like his backstory.
Yeah. I thought his backstory was good, and I actually there are parts of this book that I really like that we'll talk about in a little bit. And for the opening of this book, I thought was interesting on how they end up kind of doing this fake dating thing. And so he asks her to go on a date with him or to date him and pretend to be his girlfriend so he can get access to these elite parties.
Though, like that he needed she needed a way to make the two of them go together.
Yeah, and she's like, well, you had to do the right thing. Like, he wasn't doing anything wrong. Like, forgive his debt. And he's like, the right thing? And this is kind of, we're starting to learn he has a lot more plans for what's going to happen later on, why he's even targeting this family and stuff. And she ends up saying, well, I'll take on his debt, which is exactly what Tyler wanted her to do. And he is like, well, why don't you just pay her off? And she's like, my inheritance is tied up elsewhere. And she doesn't explain what that is.
No.
So Tyler explains, like, I need you to come up with a list. I'm trying to get elites to come to my party, and then the more money that they bring in, the more your brother's debt will be paid off. So that's what he basically tells her is I need people who are high rollers to come to my party so they lose money and then your debt's paid off. And she's like, okay, fine. So he goes to Tippy's party. This is the first one, Tippy's birthday party. And Tippy is a very old little crusty white dog.
I was so fucking confused. I thought Tippy was going to be like a grandma nickname or something.
I love that was the case, that her parents just threw this party.
Fucking so much money that they were just like, let's just throw a party on a Thursday for a fucking dog.
And I love her parents. Her parents are like super supportive of her, but also not at the same time. Like they have a hard time because she is very anti everything that they kind of are for, like with their wealthy parties and all that kind of stuff, but also like they have her back in terms of all of the bad stuff that's happened to her as well, even if they don't agree with a lot of like the reckless decisions she's made. I think they're still good parents and supportive of her.
Yes.
But before this party even starts, Blake runs into Tyler and Stella, and Blake tries to attack Tyler, which doesn't go well because Tyler's like self-defensed up all over the place. And
okay, so I gotta be honest with you. When this happens, I was like, and then they make out. Like I was like, I pinned him against the wall, and I pinned him up. I mean, you can't go on this whole tangent about like, hey, so I like men, and then you're gonna like pin him up against the wall, and then you're like, I don't know. See, again, I don't have a problem with the whole like liking whoever. It just didn't feel right for him. But I mean, if you're gonna do it, like when they touched each other against like their chests were like heaving.
But
I'm over here.
Also, they
like,
hate each other and not in a hot way.
I mean, like I was like,
not in a Stella and Tyler hate each other kind of way.
I mean,
Blake,
I get it. I'm just saying.
So,
I'm just saying, you're gonna bring this whole like around. It's like.
Tyler ends up kicking Stella out of the study and is like, I'm going to have a talk with your brother. And
this is what I'm saying, though. This is the hot moment where, like, they make out against the wall after he chokes him out a little. You're a little breathless from the hands against your throat. I can tell in you, like, she's so close to the, like, so close.
It wasn't AJ, though.
I fucking just hate you so much right now.
So Tyler ends up meeting the parents, and he also meets Richard. Richard is the actual target of everything. Richard is her parents' business partner, and he is the man who did his mother wrong. That is
this whole fucking part of the story bothered me.
The storyline here. And we get to meet Aunt Cordelia,
guess
too.
It could be worse. He could have eaten people and barbecued them on the
That's
fucking...
true. We get to meet Aunt Cordelia, who is this tiny little redhead lady who looks like a frog. So that she's described as, and she says a bunch of shitty things to Stella, like she does every single time they're there, or she's around her. And then he loses track of Stella at one point, and he comes back out because he's like, he's schmoozing up the cook and stuff, and he's trying to get information about the employees and stuff that work there. So he ends up finding Stella, and she's rummaging around under the hood of somebody's car, and he's like, what are you doing? Because somebody was like, oh, has anyone seen Stella? And they're like, oh, she's probably trying to slash Cordelia's tires. So he's like, oh crap, I gotta go find her. And she actually is following a YouTube video trying to disassemble something in the engine so that her car won't work. And he's like, really? So then he just like pulls a spark plug or whatever for her, and then they end up they have to close the hood really fast because people are coming, and then they make out on the hood of the car.
Which isn't as hot as it sounds.
No. There's definitely like something there, but it's just not, I don't know. There's lots of forced makeouts in this book. That happens, and then they're like, okay, well, we'll meet up later. We get to see Stella go to meet up with Runa Lund, who's a woman in her 40s, and she is getting a procedure done. Runa is a woman that got hit by a car, and she's now a double amputee. And we find out that that is the girl that supposedly, per the police reports and the court records, that when Stella was drunk, she hit with her car.
So she only had the actual thing she didn't get convicted of. She got convicted in personal court or whatever.
Yeah, she had a plea bargain.
What is that called?
It was like a settlement.
Civil court.
Yeah.
Civil court is where she was found guilty, but not in criminal
court. Yeah. So, and it was like all settled like privately. And she's been paying for Runa's medical bills this whole time because nobody else was there to do it. Runa knows that she was not the one driving the car. She knows that her friend Maddie.
She was there,
was
like
the one who was doing it. Mm-hmm.
You got crushed, obviously. You know who was driving.
Yeah, and Runa has become. She's like, we're not really friends, but we just tell each other everything. We're just kind of like each other's people. Runa's like 10 years older than Stella too, so I thought that was kind of interesting. I didn't realize that until I was actually doing like skimming through to do the outline on this. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot she was older. But Stella like comes in and she's like, I got to tell you everything that's happening. So she tells her everything about Blake, everything about Tyler, and she's like, we got to make him a hit list, and Maddie's at the top of that list. And that's when Stella's like, oh, I could use this to my advantage, actually. This whole thing could be getting back at the people that have been shitty to me my entire life. So that conversation with Runa kind of brings her around and be like, maybe this could be interesting. The next party is Aunt Cordelia's, the annual celebration of the death of her husband.
Who she didn't even like, so I thought this was like the greatest. Like, isn't it like? Doesn't she like give the benefits to like a different? Like he died like lung cancer, and she's like,
so it's money is raised for lung cancer, but he had a stroke on the golf course.
I was like, it was something really funny, and he was like, why are we raising money for? Mm-hmm. That's how much she loved him.
And for the first couple interactions we've had with Stella and him, we learned that Stella has gastritis. And so she's taking her emergency meds, and it's worsened with stress. And this whole situation with Blake and Tyler is obviously stressful, so it's not helping. And she's in a massive flare, so she's not really able to eat a lot right now. And she has to eat certain safe foods in order to not make things a lot worse. So it's freaking Tyler out that she's not eating. She's really, really thin, almost to the point where she looks malnourished because of this condition that she has. And on the way to Cordelia's, Tyler starts driving way too fast, and it freaks her out. That basic breakdown helps them kind of open up to each other. He slows down and is like, oh shit, I shouldn't be driving this fast. And then Tyler ends up talking about his food insecurity a bit too. They get in an argument. He calls her reckless and then says, like, you were drunk and hit someone with a car and stuff. And she's like, I wasn't even driving the fucking car. And he's like, I don't know if I believe her, but she's this upset about it. So she's probably telling the truth. And they end up running into Maddie, who was her ex-best friend who did all this stuff. Tyler will end up looking into Maddie later, and we'll find out that she killed a girl because she was jealous of her and stuff. Like, there's a bunch of stuff about Maddie.
In like another country. Like, it was like
they were in like
hit her with like a paddleboard or something.
Yeah, like knocked her off with hit her with a paddleboard or something and knocked her off into the ocean. Like, pretty bad stuff. Maddie shows up and she's like, this sweet little innocent girl, and she's like, Stella, I think it's time you apologize to me. And Stella's like, apologize to you? And then Tyler cuts her off, and then he ends up having words with Maddie. And then that's when they fully agree. Stella and him agree to a truce. So we're like, okay, you and I are not the real enemies here. That bitch and everyone else around us are. And she's like, but here's how it's going to work. We're not targeting the actual people. We're targeting their grandchildren and their children, because those are the people that are going to be the most reckless with their money and have been the ones who have been shitty to me most of all. Stella does they're having little arguments and stuff. And Stella makes a comment about Tyler not liking his feelings getting hurt. And he says, no, it makes me hard. So this is another moment of his little brat kink coming through.
It does make him hard, though. Like, he's multiple times is like, every time she yells at me, I'm just like, I just want to disobey her more.
They end up, it's true.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I just had a picture of his self getting hard.
Yeah, so that's they go to that. They're sitting at dinner and he's like kissing her shoulder and like licking her, and she's like, ew, and they're like, whoa, what's going on? And she's like, sorry, I thought I saw a bug or whatever. She's like, Tyler's like, that's not a good cover. You need to like act like you like me. And then he ends up dragging her to the dance floor. They dance, and then I saw this on an SNL skit. I didn't know this was actually a thing where you like tap the glass and the couple has to kiss. I didn't know that was
I've never seen that.
That's like a wedding tradition or something like that.
I'm so glad we didn't do that.
I didn't know that, but yeah, apparently if you like tap your glass, then the couple has to kiss. So like in this situation, they're the couple that's like on display, and she's like, I don't want to fucking kiss this guy, but then they obviously kiss and stuff. Everyone cheers, and then they head to an after party, and that is in the billiards room at this point.
My God.
And he and Stella are just like throwing barbs at each other as they're walking to this, and then he pins her up against the wall, and that's when she kind of like grinds on him, and then he reaches down and feels that she's wet, and then one of the girls makes a joke of like, are you guys gonna come in here or come out there? And then that's when they pull apart and they go in, and this is where we meet AJ.
That's not what I was thinking. I was just wondering, is it still a brat kink if you're the one that wants to be like sorry. Okay.
I think it is a brat kink because you like brats.
I do. Oh my God. I just want to discipline them all. Just get my paddleboard out.
So get the paddleboard. So this is the point where we meet AJ. AJ is somebody that Stella's been friends with for years. He's one of the most beautiful men ever, and they apparently have had sex quite a few times. And we meet the other people
with
there
him,
too.
though, okay, is that he is so beautiful. Like, what the fuck? Like, why did this? I don't know. I don't know what it is about. Like, I just pictured this like very like ambiguous person. Like, not a girl, not a boy, just very like too pretty for their own gender. Like,
that's true.
They're like a blend, and there was nothing else about them.
No, there was nothing else about AJ at all. He just is like there, and AJ is a problem for me in this entire book. This is our first introduction to AJ, and it's like, okay, whatever. But I think, I don't know if it's this party or the next one, but AJ makes a comment of like, do you still share or not, Stella? Because it might be in the next one. Because
it's in the next one.
The next one's the soiree.
This is the one where they're at the table playing cards. And then he realizes that he's a shark, and then his friends gets freaking mad, and then they send him home, and then he's like, everybody can just keep their money, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then they're in the pool on the next one.
Yes.
And then they were like, and then he's like making out with AJ. And then she's like, do you still share?
Yeah. So they go to a soiree, and then they go to the parties in the basement pool area, and that's when AJ does proposition them at that point. And it's like,
but he's already been like flirting with AJ. He's like, hey,
so
it's like a weird, like, you don't know what the hell is happening. You're like,
so what was happening was they were sitting
in my dick era is like,
I'm in my dick era. So Tyler was sitting on a different like couch, and there were this girl was like rubbing up on him, and he was like, get off of me. And then she like made a sound, and he was like, don't do that, don't be desperate. And then he comes over, and Stella and AJ were all cuddled up together, and he picks up Stella and plops him back down on her lap, and then he kisses her, and then AJ reaches up and then cleans up the lipstick around his lips. That's when he's like, so do you still share? And then he makes some comments about how Tyler's just so attractive and stuff. And she's like, please stop inflating his ego, like whatever. And this is when we get chapter 20 and 21, which are the sex scenes. And I actually told Star, I was like, is it going to get better? And you were like, well, they have sex in chapter 20. I was like, honestly, I keep being like, can they just fuck already? Like, this book, there are multiple times where I'm like, there's too much smut in this, or I didn't like where the smut was, or whatever else. This book, I was like, if they have sex, maybe it'll be better. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'll enjoy this.
I don't think you thought that.
The funny thing was, the sex scenes I actually really liked.
No, but I don't think that you were like, this made the book better. I think you were actually, but I think I actually came up to you and was like, before you got to the sex scene, and I was like, it's Princess Assassin. What is it?
Oh, Warrior Princess Assassin again.
Warrior Princess Assassin again. And you were like, no!
I was like, no!
It's because I just felt like the threesome was too early.
I didn't like that the threesome was their first time together.
Yeah.
let me be real. The threesome was hot. I thought the threesome was hot both times. I thought it was really well written, and I was like, okay. I'm not into threesomes, but I was like, damn, I'm enjoying this. So this is though where we get there's like too many paragraphs.
I wanted more AJ though, I think is my problem. I wanted like a POV of AJ. Or I wanted more AJ to put him into the story. I think that's where I was like struggling with him.
I wanted AJ cut from the story entirely.
But that's because you didn't want the threesome. But I'm like, if you were going to give me the threesome and build this character, I wanted more of this character.
Well, here's what I will qualify. I was okay with the threesome. I did not want the throuple. That's where it came off for me. I'm okay with them having sex with another person. That's their thing. They can do whatever. What bothered me was the throuple. Again, if you're into polyamory,
you didn't read the bonus chapter on AJ, did you?
I ended up doing it, so we'll talk about.
Okay.
I have a whole section on the.
No, I wasn't sure. Because I was like, because a lot of my friends were like disappointed. Like everybody either wanted more AJ or less AJ. There was no like.
Yeah,
there wasn't enough of him to understand. Other than,
for me, I felt like Tyler was too complex of a character for me to have to come around to also be like, oh, cool. And there's a third dude in the relationship or a third person in the relationship. I was like, this is not what I want at all in this. I want Tyler and Stella to actually get time to be a couple instead of having AJ constantly there. And I get that was like their thing, but I don't know. So this is also the other problem I have with this specific sex scene is the amount of times they talk about how pretty AJ's dick is. And I'm like, what? Is it just like...
I was waiting for this.
I was like, why are we still talking about this? Yes.
It was pretty.
It was pretty.
Just like AJ. It was a pretty dick.
But what other character traits does AJ have other than being pretty?
He has a pretty dick.
What other character traits does AJ have other than being pretty?
His dick was sensual. It was thin and perfectly...
Oh, God.
Look, it had to be thin because that was the only reason why she was
dick.
Like, I'm telling you.
That's why she was fine taking it in the ass?
God, the whole time I kept thinking, I was like, poor Daniel's like, Star won't stop talking about his pretty dick. I was like holding a pencil and I was like, was it like this? What makes it pretty, Daniel? Daniel, I want to know.
Daniel, tell us what you think a pretty dick looks like.
I was so mad. I was like, it's got to be. Daniel just kept looking at me like, stop talking to me. This is abuse. 90% of his This is abuse. I don't want to know about AJ's pretty dick. I didn't read the book.
This also, they have the whole pretty dick thing, and it's basically a challenge to each other. This, I felt like why I thought this sex scene was hot was because it made sense for that. Yes. Was that they were both like, I'm into this, you're into this, but I'm not going to be the one to stop this. We shouldn't be doing this, but I'm not going to be the one to stop this. I thought that back and forth actually worked really well for this. And AJ ends up fucking her while she blows Tyler. And so that's how they end up having the threesome.
Which made sense.
Yes.
Totally fine. I get it. Like the competition, I'm totally this person. I'm like, I'm not going to fucking be the one to call fucking, what is it, like chicken or whatever?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be the one. I've even told people, I'm like, don't play chicken with me because I'll just keep going. You're going to be real disappointed when I hit you. Like, you're going to be like, she fucking hit me. Like, yeah, no, I'm just...
These two chapters are what change everything for them. And their interaction with AJ specifically, Tyler's like, I can't stop. That was his first threesome ever. He's like, this is the I can't stop thinking about AJ. Like, I want him back with us. So,
which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
Because I was like, what? Like, you don't want to have sex with this beautiful woman because you want AJ? I don't know.
It was strange for me, again, because this is pitched as Tyler and Stella's book. And that's what it is. I think
what bothered me about AJ, again, there was nothing about him that made you go, like,
yes.
Other than the fact that he had pretty dick. Like, what was it about AJ that made you want to keep, like...
pretty. AJ tells Tyler he's hot. AJ tells Stella she's hot. They think AJ's hot. That's all it is.
I know, but my friend even said the same thing. She was like, I don't understand AJ's point. She was like, everybody's hot. Yay.
Yeah.
Let's fuck AJ.
Like, that was literally all it is. So I was fine. Like, if they wanted to just have him be like somebody they had threesomes with every once in a while, sure. But otherwise, AJ needed to be a flushed out character to be in this throuple to make sense. Like, I had the same issue with Warrior Princess Assassin where you just have like, you have a couple of people who have like really good chemistry. Like, I thought that the warrior and the assassin had really good chemistry, but not with the girl. So it was like, get rid of the girl. Why is she even here? So like,
yes, I know exactly what you're talking about because even I was like, oh yeah. And then there was a couple times where they were like, again, I don't know why we're talking about this book, but they're like together.
Only other throuple book.
They're together, like, and they're laying in the bed, like when they're.
What spoiler warning for Warrior Princess Assassin? If anyone's gonna
I thought about it after I was like started talking about like when they were like handcuffed together though.
Yeah,
I felt like that was like the moment where I was like, oh, yeah. And then you're like, what? Wait, come back.
I was like, the king either needs to be with the princess or the assassin needs
so
to be
like
with the
what
king.
I thought was going to happen in that one is that like he marries her because, you know, it's a king and queen situation. But like, he's like, this is really who I'm like.
Yeah.
You're having my babies because you have to. We don't need to all three
But
be
he's
together.
my lover. So yeah, this is.
I don't know. I felt now that you said that, I feel the same way about this one. Like, what was the point? Like, just fuck him, Tyler. Like, you
That's my
didn't need
point.
Stella other than like.
I don't get
Yeah,
it. This is our next, we get our true Allie and Josh cameo as Tyler's over hanging out with Josh. They're playing video games and his phone keeps going off and it's Stella texting. Josh ends up taking his phone to read his text and is like running around. We get interactions with Allie and then also Fred and Maud are both trying to like attack him, specifically
Yes.
Fred because Fred's the like mean one or whatever. And it's funny to see like Josh and Allie's interaction in that point, and Josh is like, defend my honor, babe, like, and he's like, she's like, I knew he recognized the tattoos from your account, like,
Yes.
So this is when we get the final, like, Tyler's like, yeah, dude, I knew you had this fucking Mass Talk account, okay, like, you're not that smart about this. So that was funny to kind of get finally that drop because Josh has thought he had outsmarted Tyler this whole time, and Allie's like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think you did.
No.
So the next time that we get them at another party was Stella's parents' annual soiree for employees. They run into Maddie once again, and that's when Stella finally just flips her lid and she's like, I'm done. And she ends up dropping the bomb that she's super innocent to everybody else, but she's the one who was driving the fucking car. And everyone's like, what? And Maddie's like, no one's going to believe you. And then everybody else is like, yeah, we fucking believe her because you're insane. Like, you've done horrible things for all the time. Like, when you like threw a fit because you couldn't have the pony at somebody else's birthday party. Like, you tried to steal the pony. Like, just little things like that where just like, she's had moments all throughout. Nobody else is fooled in this community. It's just like, okay, we're going with it because your parents have money. They paid off the police. It's like, whatever. Like,
Right.
So they leave. There's more arguing. Tyler finally gives the backstory on his mom that he's seeking retribution from the wealthy because that she got pregnant and she was dating a really wealthy man, and he found out she was pregnant and then he ghosted her basically, and then she ended up dying because she didn't have access to what she could have had if he had stayed with her. That's the bare minimum that he gives. And Tyler almost crashes the car because he's so upset and like swerves into oncoming traffic. They pull over. She storms off and gets out of the car, and then he ends up carrying her home. And then he turns on the shower. They like warm up in the shower. Then they fuck. I have it all caps. This should have been their first time. This made me like Tyler finally. In my thing, Tyler finally giving in and saying like, this is what
I
happened.
started liking Tyler when we got the food insecurities, like in his mother's like
I did too.
death and everything. That's when I was like, oh my god, Tyler!
But he didn't share his mom's death until this moment, right? It's like right
I
before.
thought it was before that.
No, he talks about how they had food insecurity growing up, but he doesn't.
Maybe it
go
was the
into,
food
like,
insecurity because there was a food. It was something right before they had sex with AJ that I was like, you're gonna start to like him, Katie.
Yeah, no, that did help because I was like, okay, it humanizes him and it makes it understandable why he acts certain ways, and then but finding out that really everything comes down to the fact that he just loved his mom so much and he just viewed her as the best person ever. And he's just trying to make everything right for what happened with her life. Like, that was what made me finally turn. And then it's like also, I think she calls Theo a good boy. She's like, Theo, you're such a good boy or something like that during the sex scene. And I was like, because that's not my kink at all.
Katie wants to be called a good girl, but she doesn't want him to be called a good boy.
No, I don't want it the other way. It does not turn me on the other way.
I'm like definitely like I do not do well with like words of affirmation except for the bedroom. I'm like, that's a good boy. Get down on your knees. Tell mommy she's pretty.
I guess
I would be really good at it. I'm telling you.
I guess it's because for me personally, most of my life, I'm the person who has to control everything. Like, I have to make sure my everything's right with her. I have to make sure my husband's schedule is good. Like, I coordinate a lot of stuff with our families and like for friends for meeting up with things. So like all of that is me having to control stuff.
Which is why they say that the the CEOs of the companies are the ones that are like,
yeah. So, but then what I'm attracted to is the opposite of Tyler. So, like, I don't like the idea that he's like more like subdued and like wants to be told what to do and like all that kind of stuff, because I'm the opposite. I'm basically more Tyler, not to Tyler's extent. I don't want that, but like I'm more Scarlett and Lucas, I guess, is the best comparison I have. And so for me, when every time he does something submissive, I'm just like, no, this is not my thing.
I think I'm a control freak at heart, like all the way down to the degree of like,
yeah.
just all the way down, because I will control your life, my life, and be like, get on the floor. Like,
I guess I just want one place where
I'm
I
like,
don't have to worry
spread
about
your
it.
legs, I will step on your balls now. I don't know. Like, my brain's like, no, Katie, I'm no. I am like, seriously, the more we talk about it, the more I'm worried. The more I'm worried for myself, I'm like, do I need to go to therapy? Because I like want to control everything. I want all control all
Honestly,
the time.
you probably do need therapy.
And like all the time I want control.
Yeah.
I want nobody to tell me no. Not a day in your life. You tell me what?
But this is
Pick the paddle you want for the day. I'm telling you, this is not a good story. I'm over here like my mom's like, something I didn't want to learn about
Star's
my daughter.
gonna end up with a sex dungeon.
Oh my God. I already probably have one. You just don't know about it. It's deep, dark secrets.
Oh gosh, your poor son. Finding walking into that.
Oh my God.
So the next morning, or I guess, they like fuck throughout the night. So I don't know if it's necessarily the next morning, but Tyler ends up finding her sketchbook and pictures that she drew of him. So he steals one of them. And then, in his cum, he does write a message. So this is like Vanessa Allen had teased. There is something that's funnier than, what happened in Lights Out. And, with the drawing on the street view while she was tracking him. And this says fuck you in his cum on her back, where she had to go get a black light from downstairs from. I just looked at it. I was like, she thought it was going to be like this really sweet note because he said like really sweet things to him right before it. And then it was that. And I was just like, this ruined it for me.
I thought it was funny, but I didn't like go out of my way to be like, this is hilarious.
No, I was just like, I mean, I guess it's funny for their, like, she thinks it's hilarious. She's like, this is like the best practical joke ever. But I'm sitting there like, you just said all of these really sweet things and then that's what you do. Like,
but this is 100% me. So
yeah, I guess
the whole time I read this story, I was like, Katie's learning way too much about me today. Like,
wait, you've learned so much about me. It's like not even funny. That's what these podcasts are for. It's for everybody in our life to learn way too much information.
It's our
about
own
ourselves.
personal therapy. We read this book and we learned so much therapy.
I learned so much about myself. We get another cameo, actually. Stella is tattooing Vern. So Vern, if you remember from Lights Out, was Allie's friend who works in the lab.
Yes.
And
this is like my favorite. I was like, when I fucking saw this character, I was like, oh my God, we can do it. We can do a POV of this one.
I would be fine with that. And she is talking about how she just has a crush on this guy who's a morgue assistant. And she's just trying to get the courage to do that, which is Allie's cousin, who's a part of the mob. And that's the only reason he has that job, which is just so funny.
I love the whole, like, I forgot about them until that happened. I was like, ooh, she could do a whole spinoff on this. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. So we get into the Gatsby Tunnels party. We got some glimpses of Tyler kind of doing the setup for this, where he was walking with some urban explorers in the sewers and like learning how he could set up this party, because every one of his parties is unique. It has a secret location. There's a word you have to say to get in. There's a password. And so it's only invite only. You get invited like a couple hours before it happens.
Because it takes him like days to put together, right? Because he has to get like an electrician and all of that. Like, I can't even imagine.
And they all have signed NDAs. And like the more he's walking through it, he's like, I need to get better ironclad NDAs on this, because there's just more and more shit that's coming into this to make it big. So he ends up doing like, he's like, this is really cool because I can do like a Prohibition era type party in the sewers. So because that's what part of the tunnels were for. They had been used in like the Prohibition era, and you could see like bullet holes from like the 20s and everything when that happened. So
I'm a psychopath. I don't think I would ever like walk through and be like, that's what I want to do.
Blake ends up telling Stella like, get dressed really nice, we're going somewhere. And she's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, he like calls her while she's tattooing Vern.
Tattooing Vern. And so she's like, okay. So they show up, and then Blake's like, I tipped off the cops. And she's like, no, why would you do that? That is such a bad idea. But she's really thrown off because she's seeing her family's employees, and she's like, these are not high rollers. These are just average people who have jobs. Like, you're going to ruin their lives for nothing. And Tyler ends up finding them, obviously. And she's outraged. The SWAT team starts coming in, and he pulls a gun on her and is like, we're going. This is when I was like, I hate Tyler again. Like, I was like, I like Tyler
do
for all of
remember
like
you
3
saying
chapters.
this.
And then I fucking hate Tyler again because you pulled a gun on her. It's not loaded. We learned in Tyler's POV, but
I didn't have an issue with this. Not that I wanted him to pull a gun on her, but I didn't have an issue with this. For some reason, this is when I was like, it's getting interesting. Like, I was like...
Well, and he had her, before they end up in the tunnels, he had her pinned up against the wall. And he's like, you want to know something? You don't even know my real name.
I know.
And that just blew her mind. She was like, fuck this. Like, I hate this guy. And
but I was like, finally, because I think there was a part where I was like, Katie, how is he going to tell her?
Yeah.
He's been banging her for a hot minute now.
and he ends up dropping some more information about how he was, this child that nobody wanted and stuff, or the father didn't want and stuff. And she puts it together. She's like, you're Richard's son.
Yeah.
And he's like, how do you know that? Like, and she's just like
Richard.
it's obvious. And she's like, when I was younger, because again, she's like almost 10 years older than him. She was like, when I was younger, he was looking for a kid. And he's like, that's not possible. My mom told me he didn't want me. And she's like, I'm pretty sure Richard was devastated that he knew he had this child out here and the love of his life just went missing. Like, she's just escaped. Gone.
This one threw me off. I do have to say, this definitely threw me for a loop. The love of his life is like, I was like, what just happened?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so he ends up convincing her to get into a car, and she's like, where are we going? And he's like, we're going to go where somebody can prove my story to you.
That's right.
So they're driving down to the little podunk town that he grew up in. And that's when she's like, he's distracted. I'm going to pull his registration out of the glove box and find his real name. So that's when she learns his name is Tyler Neumann. And he's pissed that she did that. And then her stomach growls, and then he reaches in the back seat and he's like, there's stuff in the back for you. And they're all gastritis safe foods. And she's like, you did all this research? Like, when did you do this? He was like, it was right after Cordelia's party when you were eating like the peanut butter sandwiches, and his mom, her mom had told him all about the information that she needed. She's like, she won't take care of herself. So I need you to take care of her, basically.
Does any woman take care of herself? Like, I feel like most women are like, I took care of my husband, I took care of the kids, I took care of the dog.
And this is when we get the full story from Tyler, because Tyler's only been giving him her breadcrumbs. And she's like, can you just be honest with me for once in your life about what's going on?
No, because I don't know how to be honest with myself. How dare you? Dare you call me out?
So we get the story. Richard met Mary Ann Margaret Neumann when she was 19 and he was 35 years old. And
so, it's not that big of an age gap.
They had, it's a pretty big age
I'm like,
gap.
have you met me? That sounds exactly like my kind of man.
16-year age gap. But they had this whirlwind romance. Per Tyler, and this is the story his mom told him, is that he was still married. He didn't tell her that until they were like really in it together. And he was like, I'm going to leave my wife. And it just wasn't the right time. And it wasn't the right time. And so then finally, and when she was pregnant, she decided she was going to leave. He dipped out. He was like, I'm not going to be a part of this. And so she came back to her shitty family who like abused her all this time, and they were poor.
I forgot how bad her family was.
And they were horrible. And so he grew up with this shitty family, and she ended up having some health problems that didn't get taken care of. Eventually, it was too bad. She ended up going to the hospital, and she was diagnosed with terminal ovarian cancer. And it was because she couldn't pay for health care up until that point that brought her all the way to the point where she was dying before she was getting help. And Tyler stayed in the hospital with her and was there when she died. And then she had told him she didn't want to be burned. And he tried to go to his family to raise money for burial and stuff, and nobody would help him. He was like 17, I think, something like that.
Yeah, he was definitely younger.
And he took that really hard. And so they basically ran out of time. The state's like, well, we're just going to cremate her because we're not going to save this body until you can give us money for this. So they cremated her, and then he saved up a ton of money to where he could bury her in a nice place and gave her a tombstone and everything like that. So that was all his big thing with his mom, was just trying to right everything that he saw was wrong for her. So they go to his Aunt Jenny's house, and he's like, tell her the story about mom. And basically she's like, you're such a fucking idiot. You turned into everything she never wanted. She got pregnant with you and she left because she was afraid of what you would turn out to be like all of the other kids that were raised by wealthy people and be a shithead, basically, was what her concern was. That completely blows up Tyler, because he's like, everything I've worked for most of my life was a lie. My mom lied to me. And this person that I've been trying to break everything down for now was looking for me. So he's completely in shock. Jenny decides she's going to just leave. So she peels out of the driveway, but she hits Stella with her car on the way out. Stella goes flying, hits her head. He calls Josh, and he's like, I need to talk to Allie. And Josh is like, why are you talking to my girlfriend? And then
emergency
fiance at that time or whatever. And he's like, I just need to talk to her. And he's like, oh shit, okay. So then Allie like helps him out. She's like, first of all, call 911.
Right?
And he's like, you're a nurse. And she's like, yeah, I'm a nurse. Call 911. So he hangs up, calls 911.
I mean, because honestly, she can only do so much. Like, nurses are bright, but like, you need somebody physically there giving her like meds and maybe a blood infusion. Like, who freaking knows? Like, she can tell you what you should be doing.
Yeah. And this is the point where Tyler's panicking because he's so scared that he can't tell if she's breathing and he can't tell if she has a pulse. So he eventually does have both of those and he's like, okay, she's alive. But that's when he's like, oh God, this is the love of my life. Like I've been treating her like shit.
But if she's the love of your life, you are finally initiated. You've said this to Josh and Allie at this point because remember like the phone. Mm-hmm. So why do we still have to need AJ?
You liked AJ.
I do like AJ. I'm saying I wanted more AJ. If you know this is the love of your life, I want more AJ or less AJ. Like, make it and have reasons.
Well, I think we're about to get to one of Star's favorite parts here. So she gets checked out at a hospital. She's okay. Then they end up going to a hotel, and that's when Tyler decides. He tells her on the way there. He's like, "I'm going to apologize to Blake because He's like, his debt's obviously covered and I'm going to give him back his watch and I'm sorry that I ever did this." And she's like, this is a total 180 from who you were. And at the hotel, after he takes a shower, he comes out and he just has his towel on and he drops to his knees in front of her and offers himself up for punishment. And this whole scene, I was literally just like, I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read this.
Is this why you don't want to listen to this Audible? It's pretty good, I promise.
I can't.
Gets on his knees.
He gets so this is when they get their real true sub and dom sex that they have been kind of inching towards. And I honestly almost threw my book down when the toe sucking started. I couldn't.
I forgot about this. Daniel was like, stop making that noise, because you were on the other side of the pharmacy, and I was like, Daniel.
No.
I was like,
I don't.
And he was like, stop it, Star. You have no idea how many times I did it to him. I was like, how do you feel about this, Daniel?
I don't do feet.
Big toe, little toe, they all taste the same.
Oh my God.
Yummy, yummy, yummy in your tummy.
No.
They're so good. You should, like, especially when they're just like perfectly like that, like when your socks are like, you did that like perfect sweaty smell.
No.
Yeah,
Star.
It's great. It's great. You can ask my brother. He'll tell you.
What?
Yeah. There's like that vinegary smell. You know what I'm talking about? I won't suck your toes, but I like that smell. Yeah. My brother used to be like, you're so gross.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That was like the one thing my brother used to be like, I can't believe you like that. You know what I'm talking about though? Like when you first get them off and it's got like you just get that slight whiff of vinegar.
I'm actually actively getting nauseous right now.
That's great.
I can't
Mom,
do this.
She knows.
I can't do this. Moving on from that, there's a ton of edging.
I wish Daniel was here. He makes it so much funner.
Oh my God. No. There's so much edging that happens in this.
Yeah, that's like the one thing I can't stand though. I hate fucking edging. I think it's like I'm really tired. Please, authors, stop fucking writing edging scenes.
Well, she's edging him, which I guess is kind of a change of pace, which is kind of nice. But he is like holding onto the headboard and she's like, you don't come until I tell you to come and you can't touch me, which is just like destroying him.
So much fun.
And
that's like true power right there. I think Katie doesn't understand. I'm like, I like the true power.
No. So Stella, they have sex together and then they are talking and then Stella says she wants to tattoo her teeth marks into his ass. Yep. And he's like, down. Sure. And they do end up doing that. She will reveal that in the epilogue to their friends. And after their little marathon sex session, they decide they're going to go talk to Richard. And that's when Richard lays everything out. It's like, I loved your mom so much. She was everything to me. My wife and I were already separated. We were actively in divorce proceedings. Like when everything was going on with her. We were not together. I think his wife even knew about her. Like, it was totally fine. No one was upset about it. And then when he found out she was pregnant, he was going to ask her to marry him. Like,
yeah, but it was the pause. It was the, like, wasn't it like a day or two that
he said he
like,
needed some time to think about it. And
not everybody handles that well.
no. And so she took that as, okay, well, I'm going to leave before you decide that you don't want me anymore. And he has the possibility to turn out like all of the terrible people, because there were some people that would make comments to her about her not being, from this elite society, basically. So it all kind of came down to that, and they end up deciding they're going to try to pursue having some sort of relationship together, which was really great. And then we end the book with the double penetration with AJ. That's the actual chapter of this book, which, again, I didn't mind this. I thought it was still hot. Like, they handled it really well. Like, the characters work well together in sex scenes. It's fine. But again, what does AJ provide other than a dick? He's pretty and he has a dick. Like, those are the two things about AJ that supplement into this
Again,
relationship.
like I said, if there was more AJ and we knew more about him, we would have better feelings. I didn't hate AJ.
Yeah.
I didn't mind the threesome. I needed more. Like, you can't say, I love Stella, introduce Stella to all of your fucking friends, and not have AJ there. Like, you needed to have everybody or nobody.
Well, and they do. So the epilogue is they go to the friends' party at Allie and Josh's.
AJ's not there.
AJ shows up at the end. AJ
It's
was
not the same.
AJ, yeah. So AJ was invited. AJ shows up at the end, and they're like super excited to have him there. And then they're driving home because they're like, AJ, you'll meet up with us at whatever and stuff, because they're gonna sleep together again. And then they're driving home, and that's when Stella says, "I love you," and he's like, "I love you so fucking much, Stella." And she's like, "I think I kind of love AJ too." And he's like, "Okay, yeah." And she's like, "I want him to be a part of our relationship." And
this
he's
is
like,
when I
"Yes."
was like,
and I was like, okay. You have this moment of these characters finally like admitting their feelings together.
Yes.
They have all of this back and forth throughout the entire book. And then all of a sudden they're like, and I now want a third person in our relationship. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Again, like we've talked about, what did AJ provide other than another dick into this relationship? He does not add substance to this.
no, because he doesn't even like the brat kink. That was like a whole thing. Like, there's no like.
He's not into it. That's
even in the epilogue. That's why I asked if you read the epilogue, because he was like, I don't like the brat kink, and I was like, then what was the point? Like.
No, it's so I don't know. I guess I just don't understand why AJ had to be in there. It was almost like I think Nevessa Allen does an amazing job with representation. She does a fantastic
100%
job
agree
throwing
with you.
things in.
And I don't dislike AJ, but I either wanted way more AJ or AJ to drop off after the pool party.
Yes, I needed AJ's a guy we kind of have fun with every once in a while. Or I needed him to be actively involved in this. The problem was that there was so much that had to happen between Stella and Tyler that without making this book significantly longer, you can't have AJ come in and have substance in it, other than like he's kind of the fun guy we kind of bring into our relationship every once in a while.
Then they didn't need to be like, and I also love him too. Like,
yes.
It could have just been like, hey, can we just like have AJ be part of our hookup once in a while?
I honestly finished this book and I was like, then you should have just been with AJ this entire time. Like, why did you even start dating Tyler in the first place if you've been in love with AJ this whole time?
About that, like, oh my god,
they've been sleeping together for years.
I know. Once you said it, though, I was like, I don't know.
I was just so irritated at it, and again, it's not because it's like I'm totally against thruples or anything like that.
No, I don't
if
care.
It's well done, it could work. And again, I'm not personally someone that wants threesomes, but I thought the threesomes in this book were really good. I enjoyed reading the threesomes in this book.
I enjoyed reading threesomes. I don't want that to come across. I wanted more AJ because I wanted to see like where he like did he like change her opinion? Like how did like what was their threes their threes the
thruple aspect?
Thank you.
The actual
what was it? Yes, like how did it work? Other than like oh AJ thought you would have paid off my debt sooner. Mm-hmm. Like. I was like, what? Like,
no, it literally doesn't.
AJ could have paid off your debt at any point in life. Like, he had so much fucking money. I don't know. Like, I was like, what is AJ? He's rich and he's got a good dick and he's pretty. Yeah. Okay.
That's my
Can't we
issue.
just bring him into the bedroom when we need him? Like, does he need to be I love AJ? I don't know.
That's my sole issue with AJ. I don't think he's a bad character. I think he doesn't have any development for me to buy into the fact that they want him in their relationship, other than that Tyler kept going, I liked fucking him. That's great. You don't have to be in a relationship with someone to fuck them. I
agree. You could have married her, Stella, and still been like, hey, AJ, you want to come over and fuck tonight?
Yeah, because they were both down for it. What doesn't make sense is them being like, and AJ should totally be in our relationship. And it's like that they talk every once in a while about how they have dinner with him and stuff. And I'm like, when? When did they have dinner with him? We see them in a group setting. We hear about Stella having sex with him a lot over the years and how he was one of the nicer guys. And that's it. There's no character development that we actually get to see on page of AJ other than he's cute and he's good at sex. That's all.
I know, but I did like him. I wish there was like some development on him is my thing. Yeah. So I thought the epilogue was going to be her like extended, like, here's AJ.
Yeah. And it was. They were like, here's AJ.
No.
But they don't like it. It's at the end.
I don't like the Brad kink. We already knew that.
But that's not even in the epilogue.
Yes, it is.
That's a bonus chapter. So we have the epilogue as the friends party, and then AJ shows up at the end, and then they drive home, and then Stella, they're going to go meet AJ.
I'm sorry. Yes, the bonus chapter. But in the bonus chapter, I'm sorry, I thought there was going to be, because it was a bonus chapter, I thought she was going to be like, here's AJ's.
Nope. So let's go into the bonus chapters then, because we will talk about. I have that as our last one because I just know we're going to go off about it again with the same opinion we've been saying this whole time. The first one is the intruder, and we talked about this earlier. This is Fred's POV from Lights Out of the first time that Josh breaks into Allie's room and films the mask talk with the red light, and it was so funny and so well done, and he's so dramatic, and I love his British accent. Like, everything about this was just off the charts amazing.
Yes.
I had not gotten the newest edition of Lights Out, the hardbound, because I was tempted just because of the Fred chapter to get it. But I was like, I already have 2 copies of Lights Out. I don't need another one. But amazing. Loved that chapter.
I did too. I actually thought it was great. And my favorite part about it was like he like comes in and he's like, oh, and then this person is coming in, and like he's just like fully like, and like the way he's telling the story, and Josh is just like, all right, Kat, move on. I'm trying to go do like,
well, and he's like, I like that he's scared of me.
Yeah.
Because Josh is like sitting against the wall. Like,
I forgot about that. Like, yeah.
Josh has never interacted with animals before, so he's panicked about what he might do if he sees an animal. And Fred's like, this one's different than the other ones. The other ones come up to me and think that they can do whatever they want to me, and this one's terrified, and I love it.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So that was amazing. I loved that. Then there is I'll be honest, I was listening to these audiobooks. I listened to the chapters on the car ride home the other day when we were getting back from our trip, and so I did fall asleep through half of them. I did have to go back and read part of one of these chapters.
The next one, though, one of my friends and I both agree, basically was just like a recap of Caught Up. Like, my friend was like, wasn't that just Caught Up?
That must have been the bookie.
I didn't. But she was like, wasn't that just Caught Up? And
that
I was
the
like,
one I fully fell asleep through then.
No, I was like, yes, but no. Like, I mean, it could have been, and I definitely have to be honest with you. Caught Up, definitely the voice actor on the bookie, whoever did this. I was like, no. I was like, you just fucked up Nico's name. Like, how dare you? Like, you're not allowed to talk about Junior like that ever again. It was bad. I didn't realize, like, I just saw a TikTok today that was like, yep.
So like, I guess, I fell asleep during the bookie. So was the bookie more of Junior? Because the debt is the one where he's with Junior and they're talking about paying off Stella's mortgage. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the debt. I don't know what happens in the bookie because I fell asleep, and I'll be honest, I wasn't willing to go back and reread it. So Tyler's...
It's the same. It's literally him talking about being a bookie.
Okay.
And then it goes into Nico and Junior. I thought it was the same exact bonus on the audio. It doesn't change at all. The only time it changes is when it gets to AJ.
Okay. So
that's why I was like, what are you talking about? It's the same. Yeah. In the audio, it's like literally them talking and then him talking about going in and getting AJ paying off the debt. And then I was like, why is AJ not paying off the debt if that fucker's richer?
Is this never mind. I don't care. So the debt is, so Tyler.
They're sitting around at like the table. They're like talking, the bookie. Mm-hmm. And Nico is there. This is why everybody was like, isn't this Caught Up? Like 3 different times. My friend was like, either that or the way it reads, it just keeps flowing because you don't ever catch a difference between them.
Gotcha.
He's talking to Nico and then he goes and sees her and then it goes into AJ's. There's no like...
Yeah, because when I listened to it, I was listening to it on Spotify. So the debt is Tyler is talking to Junior and they're like joking about how pissed Stella's going to be when they do this. And then he's like, Junior's like, you could just call Josh and it would be super easy to get all the banking information to do this, right?
Yes.
So then he ends up paying off the mortgage. He goes home. This was I literally was just like, I listened to it and I woke up right when this was starting and I was just like, ugh.
I told you though, the voice acting though on this, like I was like, that you're not Junior. Stop talking.
No, it wasn't that. I was asleep during this. I had to go back and reread this section.
I know, I'm just saying.
But I woke up right when they were having sex, and I was just like, oh, I hate these two together. I don't know. So he comes home and he's like, I've been a bad boy, basically. And he goes to this corner of the room that's taped off for him.
I forgot about this.
And kneels in it, and she starts like, she's drawing him.
Yes.
And then eventually she's like, start touching yourself. And so she makes him edge himself until finally she comes over and is like, I'm really grateful you did it. And then fucks him. And he like comes immediately, basically. But I was just sitting there like, and he's like, I'm so embarrassed by this, but I love it at the same time. And I guess I'm just not, I don't like embarrassment or anything like that. So
I guess
it's just not my thing.
I guess I just thought that was all the same.
That happens in one chapter. I don't know what happens. There's another chapter called The Bookie, and I have no idea what happens in that chapter.
Okay, then I don't think anybody does because
it was on Spotify. I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty sure it went The Intruder, The Bookie, The Debt, because I fell asleep during the book. That's probably right after Fred. And then
I'm telling you, I listened to all of it, and it was just everything you just said was all of what I heard.
Yeah, and the end of that chapter is Tyler yelling for AJ because he says, "Honey, I'm home," and then he's like, "Hey, AJ, bring a mop in here to help clean this up."
Yeah.
So that's the end of that chapter, and then we go into AJ.
Yeah.
And AJ, I don't even.
This
remember.
is AJ talking. This is AJ's POV.
Oh yeah, AJ's talking about how he's not into the brat kink, but it turns him on to watch Stella like be all over him, and that she loves that.
Which is why I don't understand why he's here. Like, because I like AJ. I wish AJ had more. This is what I think I hated about the situation. I like AJ. I do not want this to come across as Star does not like AJ. I like their throuple thing is fine. I needed more of why AJ needed to be here.
Yeah.
You don't like the brat kink, so that doesn't make sense to me. You only are participating in the sex because obviously you're the richest one in the group and you didn't even fucking try to pay off her debt. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It didn't make sense to me what you were good for other than like you can have friends that you fuck once in a while. I mean, I don't know. I don't. But you could. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't. Like,
especially if you're like, I don't know. It just, and he even says like my boyfriend Tyler and my girlfriend Stella. Like, it's weird to have him talk about it because he like genuinely, I don't think I get any more of who he is.
No, you don't know anything other than he's a rich pretty boy.
Yeah.
The pretty penis that they talk about way too much.
With the pretty smooth penis.
Oh my God, I wish they talk about it.
I was just like, are you just having sex with a bunch of warty ones? What are you doing? Are they all bent at weird angles? What is happening
to you?
They're
just too veiny.
Yeah, oh my God. But and then she even says like Tyler has this massive cock and you're like, okay. So he has this little tiny pretty one. And then he has a massive one. That's like the...
I do have one point that I wanted to like, when they're having the threesome and he's like, I can feel AJ. Everything in me, and poor Daniel had to listen to me bitch about this. Everything in me, because it was happening in real time, I was like, Daniel, would you want to be rubbing another penis? And he was just like staring at me and he was like, why are we doing this tonight? I'm tired. And why are you telling me this?
Like, stop talking.
But I just couldn't get this in my head. Like, would you want this happening? Because that's what it looks like. You got head to head, like.
Well, it's like this more.
I mean.
So they've got the same motion going together. And I think if they're both into each other. So, yeah, they probably like it. I think if you ask a straight man who doesn't want to have sex with another man, then probably not. Because I think most, not saying all straight men, but from talking to people would be, I think most men who are straight would rather have two women that they have a threesome with than another man. So I think in that situation, it would probably be different.
I don't know. It was just I felt him, and I was just like, "What are we doing? Why?" I don't know. I just remember looking at Daniel and being like, "Would you want to like rub penises?" Daniel was just like, "Why are you?" I guess like my brain was just like,
"Oh my God, our poor friends." No, I did listen to some of the audiobook while I was doing the outline as well, so that I could get like the beginnings of the chapter, so I knew what was going on. And the audiobook narrators did fine.
No, they were good.
I just genuinely have no interest in revisiting this story. Like, I told Star, so let's get into our star ratings. I rated this a 3.5.
I have to be honest with you, though, because we read this and then we are podcasting on it so fast, you didn't get a break. Normally we get a break.
That's
we read
true.
other books.
But we did that with Caught Up, too. And I immediately did the audiobook because I was excited to see if it changed my opinion on it. Because I did like Caught Up. I didn't like it as much as Lights Out, but I didn't have the same feeling I did on this. This, I'm genuinely like half of this. So my issues with this book, I gave this a 3.5 on the first read. And I say first read like I did a 2 reads, but I did like a quarter
read and a half.
So my issues with this book are that Tyler's whole thing about being a bookie I thought was going to be really interesting. I thought we'd get more parties of him I thought we'd have more of his secret parties and him taking Stella to those. Instead, we got none of those. We didn't get any of that. We got multiple socialite events that I was just like, okay, it's like the same thing over and over again. And then Tyler's backstory, I actually really enjoyed. It humanized him a lot. It was not the direction I was expecting it to take, so that was kind of a good change, I guess. The AJ character really threw me. I was like, what is the point of this person other than taking up space on the page that could be devoted to actually developing out Tyler and Stella's relationship? Because so much of them has to be them overcoming each other's stuff, finding the actual truth somewhere in the middle of everything, and then realizing it's okay to lean on each other. And I really liked that development of them. I almost feel like AJ getting thrown in the mix is just like a distraction from everything. I was like, okay, cool. And they're like, oh, and here's AJ. And you're like, okay.
That's because she's really good at being inclusive, though. Because in her the book in Caught Up, she had a they them, which was kind of fun. And
Lauren, I don't remember if she was pan or bisexual, but she'd been with multiple different women and men and stuff. And I think it's awesome to have that representation. I think Tyler being pan was great. I don't think it needed to be, and I think even having the threesomes was fine. I don't care about that. I guess my issue is that it almost feels like because AJ was not a fleshed out full character that it was like, oh, look, and then I did something else. Look, it's a throuple. And it's like, it didn't have to be that.
I know. I just think devoted more time to it. I think that the author likes to be super inclusive.
And I'm fine with inclusiveness, but I think inclusiveness needs to make sense in the characters.
I agree. I wanted more
I want inclusiveness to not be jarring because that's the state of the world. Inclusiveness is not jarring. You walk around and there are different races of people, different sexualities. People present themselves in ways that make them, who they are. And the benefit of a society that's moving forward is that is normal. I don't walk around going, oh, that's strange. Oh, that's strange. What felt weird is when something just comes out of nowhere and you're like, well, now I'm just not in the story because I'm just stuck sitting here why did this happen? This doesn't make sense for the characters. True. It was perfect and Caught Up because Ryan just existed as a person and it was never... Ryan was they, them because when they were a child, this happened. It was no, Ryan's just a person.
Yes.
They use these pronouns. True. We're moving on. We're not even going to have a conversation about it because that's just who they are as people. What I don't like for the throuple is I have to sit there being why are you here, AJ? I don't know why you're here.
Because you have a pretty dick. I don't know. Literally, half the story is AJ's pretty dick.
I know. So those are my issues. And then I did a little bit of the audiobook for doing the outline and for listening to the bonus chapters. Taking the Fred bonus chapter out, it actually lowered my star rating to 3 because I hated it so much. I genuinely was so upset having to listen to them. And it was mainly because the brat kink is not my thing at all.
I enjoyed it.
It's the reverse for me. If the girl's a brat, totally different. And I know that's maybe a sexist thing, but that's just my personal bias. That's my personal bias. I like overbearing men in the bedroom. I like the taking control aspect of men. So every time Tyler was doing the opposite, and again, no shame to anybody who is like this or that's their kink, it just gave me the ick because that's not what I'm into. So it drew me out every time. I was like, no, I don't like this. This makes me uncomfortable, which it's good to read books that make you uncomfortable because then you get to see different sides of things as well. So I'm glad I read it in that aspect, but I don't want to read it again. I have no interest in reading this book ever again.
Funny. I think I rated it a 5, but that was because I really did enjoy it. I did wish there was more AJ explanation. I needed more AJ. I needed to understand this rich pretty boy needed more than just being a rich pretty boy.
Yeah.
If he was going to be involved,
yeah,
I needed more. Otherwise, I didn't have any problems with AJ. Other than the fact that he had a pretty dick. That one just fucking bothers me. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it was the description. I think it was just pretty dick. He's going to be pretty dick for the rest of his life.
Pretty dick.
Pretty dick.
Yeah, so what would you rank all 3 books then, I guess, since we're now finished with the series?
Okay, just to make Katie crazy.
I know exactly what you're rating.
Caught Up, Game On, Lights Out.
Yeah, mine's Lights Out, Caught Up, Game On.
I know.
so.
The way she wrote it.
they got worse as they went down. Not necessarily worse. They're well written. They're just not my cup of tea as they go on, I guess.
Yeah. No, I really liked Caught Up.
Mm-hmm. But I guess I do want to say real quick, because I think the benefit to these books being so different in that aspect is that you're going to get different people that enjoy different books.
I know. So. My friend hasn't finished it yet. I have one friend that hasn't finished it yet that I'm kind of secretly wondering, because her sister and I both were probably more Caught Up girls, and she didn't like either one. So like, I'm curious. Like, I'm like, are you a light out? Are you a Game On girl? Like, did we miss something? Are you really a throuple kind of a girl? We just don't realize it. Yeah. So like, my one friend really likes Lights Out, but it wasn't like Caught Up was like, and then she was like, Game On was really good. And I was like, yeah, I thought so. But yeah, sometimes a lot of it though for us is just like the like Lights Out was funny. Which a lot of people like the comedy in that one.
Yeah.
I really liked Caught Up because I liked that like he grew. And then on Game On, I just needed more.
Yeah.
But I really liked it more than Josh. I don't know why The Stalker and Josh just didn't do it for me. Even though like all three, I would still reread all three.
Yeah. Maybe
like
one day.
Without like me complaining.
Maybe one day I'll do it. I debated listening to Game On because we did do it so close. Not Game On, but to Caught Up when we did it so close for that podcast. And I was like, you know what? I actually do think I'm going to listen to it. And I loved it. But when I was going into this, I literally looked at Star and I said, I don't want to use an Audible credit on this book.
Like, you remember that?
I genuinely don't want to, because I could see myself going back and listening to Caught Up. I could see myself going back and listening to Lights Out. But I was just looking at it like, no, I have zero interest in listening to this book.
I mean, I guess I kind of get it.
So I was like, ooh, I have Spotify listening hours.
It's it was good. I enjoyed it. I just don't think I would want to re-listen to it like so close to the book being done.
Yeah, maybe I'll give it a chance. Maybe I'll give it a chance at another time. But just right now, I am not a Game On girly.
I liked it. I do wish that this wasn't.
Put your mouth where your money is.
Yeah, I wish that it was, something else. There's a couple other
good quotes in there.
Yes.
Yeah. That was our coverage of Game On. If you are watching this on YouTube, I'm going to throw up a slide to where you can follow us on social media, and we'll see you in the next one.